How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with a little bit of mystery beers, courtesy of my boy, That'd Be Tony. Yeah. He's smart enough to write his name on there because I forget half the time. Tony from Texas, he sent me off a bunch of beers, and this mystery beer is one. Kansas City. There's no hits off that. What do we got going on here? Don't want to look at the outside of the cat. Let's see if there's oldie times beer in there. So we'll see what's what. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I think we might be dealing with give that a rough pour because we're not going to generate any head on it. I put all the sediment and bits and pieces of this beer in there. If this is not English barley wine, I don't know what is. I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like apple cider gone bad. You know, that kind of look to it. Not much of a head. I literally tossed that sucker in there. There's probably a huge yeast cake on this sucker. Oh, nothing too big. But yeah, I mean, that looks all the parts of a big, huge barley wine. I mean, it could be a sour beer, a couple different things, but yeah, it looks big. Let's see the nose on it. Wow. It smells nice. What is this? I had to have had this beer before. So I was going to say J.W. Lee's, but he has a tape up here. It's not big enough to cover the J.W. Lee's thing. It's not a Hardy, because Hardy never came in this bottle, but it's very similar to that kind of beer. Just rich caramels. It's definitely not J.W. Lee's. I don't know. See, J.W. Lee's has this very distinct kind of yeast profile. It's like really almost like an old ale open fermentation kind of ester. I'm getting touches of that, but that could just be a little bit of oxidation. You got a little bit of oxidation going on, actually decent amount of oxidation going on. This beer has some time on it. I mean, from a nose, it's a chewy toffee-based, figgy English barley wine, no barreling, that has seen some time. That's what we have going on here. Basically, my favorite kind of beers. Tony wants to channel. Yeah, putting your name on shit, sending me the good stuff. Cheers. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what the fuck this beer could be. I've never had, I mean, this short list of what comes off here. You know, it's Hardy's, it's these, it's old stuff. There's been some others, but they're very, very few and far between. This has got to be you know what this could be? No, it can't be. I was going to say maybe it's like because the labels are different, maybe it's one of the barrel-aged versions of J.W. Lee's, because the labels are different. I think that little top piece might be missing or smaller. But I'm not getting huge kind of barrel component off of this. But it's sweet. There's something to it more than the beer. It's not Lagavulin. It could be though. God damn it. It's got to be a barrel-aged J.W. Lee's. Here's the kicker. I'm guessing this is probably late aughts. So this is like an 06, 07, 08. J.W. Lee's. The funny part is, I'm trying to think. Calvados cask, port cask, Lagavulin, sherry. Those are your four casks. I could talk myself into any of those casks. But this has got to be... This is a 2008 J.W. Lee's Calvados cask. What is it, 13.3%? That's my guess. And this is kind of one of the things where it gets kind of hard with mystery beers because I'm so fixated on this being a J.W. Lee's beer at this point. It'd be really hard to talk me out of it because, honestly, here's the only other beer that I think this could be. Is that it's one of the Heritage Dog beers. It's one of the Heritage Dog beers, which would make way more sense than J.W. Lee's. But since I'm so fixated on J.W. Lee's, you know, it just it's because I rarely have beers that kind of live up to this kind of level of beautiful aging of a English style barley wine. Now there are some breweries down in Texas that do this, but the ones that I've had, I forget the name of it, Sinatra maybe? Is that it? I forget. I saw someone from Texas sent me a few of the beers, but they were snubby bottles. They were like shorties, I believe. The only other beer this could be is Hair of the Dog, but every sip I take gives me more of that GWE's yeast profile that does wane with a little bit of time. So I'm thinking this has a decent age on it. It lacks the overt bittering that a lot of Hair of the Dog beers carry. I'm just gonna stick to my guns. Oh wait, Calvados cast 13.5%. So let's undo the top here first to see how wrong I am. This beer is fucking awesome. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm not gonna get the reveal because it's actually ripping it off. I think that's UWE's up there, my friends. Sure looked like it to me. Oh, it's just a straight harvest ale. It's only 2014. Okay, fair enough. 2014 harvest ale. It had to be an edition. Oh man, I would have sworn this was going to be one of the barrel aged variants with more time on it. It makes all the sense in the world. I mean, at initial get, it was not a. It didn't have that big, funky open fermentation kind of thing that I get from a lot of like real legit old ales. But every sip I took, it kind of built. So it talked myself in the JWEs, and it kind of made sense once I dove into it. But I really thought this had a little bit of extra time on it. It's 11.5, so I was guessing. I thought their beers are 13.3, but I think they're all of these 11.5. So if I knew that, I would have said 11.5. Whatever it was, JWE's ABV was, so I don't have a problem with that ABV call out. Man, this is delicious. This is absolutely fantastic. It's probably, I think 2011 is my favorite vintage of Harvest Ale. But here's the kicker on that. I think the last time I had like one of these is maybe about 3 or 4 years, so that's about the same amount of time. So 11 was the best, but I had the 11s in 2017, so it'd be the same amount of age on it. So that kind of makes sense. This is such a great beer in general. And I don't know why I tried to talk myself out of it several times because it's super distinctive. But you know what it is? Because the last time I did a Harvest Ale, I didn't get it. And I was kind of like, if I didn't get it then, maybe I'm not getting it now. Anyway, absolutely fantastic. Super great beer. I missed it. I called it the barrel-aged version. That's on me. But it had such richness, and it had this little bit of pop extra that I don't remember having from the base vintages, at least newer ones. That's the reason why I went that direction. Plus the way the tape was, I didn't think I'd be able to color up the label. Look at the label up there. You see how big it is? This one's not nearly as big. So I was like, oh, it can't be one of those. Anyway, sometimes you get them perfect. Sometimes you get them wrong. I guess the beer just knocked the base over the variant. Super fun mystery beer. Thank you very much, Tony. Let's talk about it. Is it one of the better English barley ones that I've had? I was like, yeah, I mean, JWE's are on King Chittifoot Mountain. This specific batch, this specific bottle is up there as one of the better ones I've had. Now, I just did a 2002 version of Harvest Ale. It's a little bit nicer than this one, but let's put it this way. I think if this ages, if you pick this bottle up that much older, I think it's going to track much the same way that 2002 bottle went over. Value availability, I don't know if these beers can be had. I can find variants, maybe not 2014, but I could typically find between 2002 to 2015, 16 pretty readily available. Might have to do a little bit of driving, but once I find them, I can find them in spades. And multiple different ages and variants on them. So they can't be had. They typically run anywhere between, depending on how old, whatnot, anywhere between like $6 to $12 a bottle, which I have no problem with any time buying these beers. Leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like aged beer, man. I mean, this is classic, old school, fucking some of the best of all time ageable beer. So if you like that, you like this beer. Thank you very much, Tony. Super fun mystery beer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, always welcome to send some off. The only way us beer tubers can do mystery beers is via y'all and Massbeers.com or massivebeers@gmail.com. You can write me there. If you want to check me out doing social media stuff and check me out doing podcasting stuff, it would be either type in the old Googs, Massive Beers or Beers Massif, as you see up there. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully, you're enjoying the feed sucker right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.